Hey, what's up, folks? Vinny from Suds in the Square Circle. Again, thank you for remembering. There's no Suds news tonight. No Dockside at the Bay tomorrow. We will resume next week. As of right now, John Black is leading the poll in hashtag SoapSuds March Madness against Sophia Madison. And that's over on Twix. So go get your votes in. You still have like 4 or 5 days, 4 more days. It's actually 12:30 now on Tuesday morning the 9th. I'll be leaving in the morning. And Raw was great tonight. It was a little underwhelming, but we as fans, you know, we kind of put such a big expectation on the Raw after WrestleMania because for a while, it's like every Raw after WrestleMania was like the reset to storylines or new person debuts or somebody comes back or, you know what I mean? So you're in this new era, this new regime, it's like, I feel like you're not going to be able to expect something all the time. You're going to be kept on your toes. Cody, we knew was going to be there. Triple H was going to be there. We knew that. I was not expecting The Rock. The Rock got booed the hell out of the building, louder than Dominic Mysterio. And to the point where I was like, come on now, let him talk so we can get this segment over with. But whatever, it is what it is. It was a decent segment. Roxanne Perez, Ilya Dragunov come up from NXT. John Cena being there was a fantastic surprise, especially with R-Truth and The Miz. I really am so happy Damian Priest is the new world champion. I mean, I was happy Drew McIntyre won because I can't stand Seth Rollins. But I'm happy that Damian Priest cashed in. He deserves it. I'll be doing a full Squared Circle News episode probably Thursday night. So keep an eye on YouTube. Keep an eye on the podcast feed because that'll be going there over the next couple of days, probably Thursday. Because Thursday I'm also doing some voiceover work or audio recording for JLG Media. So keep an eye on that as well. I got to say, over this past weekend, it's been great. It's been fun with just SmackDown, NXT, WrestleMania both nights, and then Monday Night Raw, the show from the ECW Arena. I do want to say the next time, if there is a next time that I come to WrestleMania, or at least a WrestleMania town, I'm going to do WrestleCon because I do want to see a lot of the legends, you know, that aren't necessarily affiliated with WWE all the time or what have you. I met 2 great people that I feel are really good friends, you know, that are good, you know, are wrestling friends. Let me put it that way. They are best friends together. Ruby and Rebecca. I met a ton of people this week, but those 2 stand out because I met them kind of on the night, the SmackDown, and we all had the on-location priority pass in common. They're from Colorado, and they've been best friends for years, and I asked them about their origin story of how they came to like wrestling, and they told me, and, you know, what have you. But I want to give them a shout out, but I also got a lot of really good vibes from a lot of people that were here this weekend from all over the country, and all over the world, actually. I just met on the subway back to my hotel after Raw. I met a couple from Vancouver City, British Columbia, the west coast of Canada. And they're flying out tomorrow, you know, flying home tomorrow. You know, met a couple of people from Maine that were in my section at WrestleMania in the upper decks. Met the couple that were sitting next to me at WrestleMania were from actually 10 minutes away from the stadium, so that doesn't count. But no, we were all just there having fun. I met a lot of people. And the WWE fandom, whether they like AEW as well, or TNA, or MLW, or any other wrestling organization out there that I don't follow, because I am strictly WWE. I get my AEW news from Jim Cornette's podcast. anything for MLW or TNA or anything else, it's just from Twix or social media or whatever. But I gotta say, seeing families come, seeing couples come. My wife wasn't going to come. And honestly, I'm not going to pay for a ticket for her after she fell asleep went to sleep at a Rob Zombie concert in September. So I wasn't planning at all to pay any money for her to come and sleep through WrestleMania. Absolutely not. But that's besides the point. But I did. I made a lot of good friends. And maybe not necessarily on a name-by-name basis, but everybody gets into wrestling for different reasons. I got into wrestling for my grandmother, and I posted pictures of leaving her memorial card for her remembrance card at, SmackDown for the Wells Fargo Center and at WrestleMania at Lincoln Financial Field. And I know they were probably throwing in the garbage, whatever, but you know what? It mattered to me. Whether it's a parent or grandparent or ex-boyfriend or friend, best friend that gets you involved in and gets you to like wrestling, professional wrestling. And yeah, I always bought into the sports entertainment thing, but it's professional wrestling, which WWE is trying to move away from sports entertainment terminology now. Again, besides that'll come this week on Squared Circle News. So pay attention to YouTube and the podcast feed for that. But outside of that, you know what? I had a blast. Would I do it again? Probably, yeah. But I would definitely want to go to WrestleCon and, maybe not even go to WrestleMania, but go to a watch party where you're at least getting, you're with other friends, wrestling friends, and you are able to hear the commentary and watch the match and not be, up on a second story balcony watching, you know what I mean? Like upper deck in a stadium where the wrestlers look like ants and you can barely tell what's going on. You can't hear the stuff from the ring. But outside of that, I had a blast. And listening and being there in person to watch Paul Heyman get inducted to the Hall of Fame, priceless. Guys, I'm going to bed. I'm driving back to Connecticut tomorrow, or later on today, I should say, this morning. But have fun. Watch wrestling. Watch what you like, but have fun with it. And you know what? Don't be afraid to make friends. Don't be afraid to talk to people. You know what I mean? But have a great day, and I will look out for the Squared Circle News WrestleMania weekend recap coming up later this week.